There's a lot of chatter out there about the April LSAT. Some say it's harder than other test dates, but others think it's easier. So what's the truth? Is the April LSAT really harder, or is that just another myth? Today, we're going to unpack the reasons behind this perception, what makes the April LSAT unique, and how to prepare strategically so you can score your best no matter when you take the test. Stick around because I'll also share a counterintuitive strategy that might be the key to unlocking a higher LSAT score, especially if you're taking the April LSAT. First, for those who don't know me, I'm Steve Schwartz from LSAT Unplugged. I've been helping students crush the LSAT since 2005, raising scores by 10, 20, even 30 points. I've heard every rumor and every theory about the LSAT, and today, we're tackling the one about the April LSAT. Now, the idea that April is a tougher test date comes down to a few factors. First, it's a popular LSAT date for early applicants. Many students taking the April LSAT are aiming to submit their applications as early as possible for the next cycle. This creates a perception that the test takers in April are more competitive, but here's the thing. The difficulty of your LSAT score has nothing to do with how other people perform. The LSAT is scaled to make sure there's fairness across test dates, regardless of how other test takers do. Second, the timing of the April test feels inconvenient for many students. It's in the middle of an academic semester and it could be a busy time at work, making it harder to dedicate time to prepping. But that's about your schedule, not the test itself. So is the April LSAT actually harder? The short answer is no, the April LSAT is not harder than any other test date. Let me explain why. First, every LSAT test form is equated. That means if one test's reading comp is harder, the scoring scale is adjusted. You might need fewer correct answers to hit your target score. Second, LSAC designs the LSAT to be consistent across test dates. They can't afford for one test to be easier or harder because that would undermine its reliability as a standardized measure. Also, there is really no such thing as a single April LSAT. You and your friend both take the April LSAT. You could be getting different questions from your friend, even though you took it the same day at the same time, potentially. Beyond that, LSAC is reusing test forms from other administrations, meaning that your questions on the April LSAT might have been someone else's questions on the February LSAT, or your questions today could be someone else's, say, in June, for example. And remember, of course, your score isn't affected by who else takes the test. You're only measured against the questions on your test, not the performance of others. And the tests are actually pre-equated or pre-scaled, meaning that the so-called curve is actually determined primarily in advance when those questions were tested as other people's extra unscored experimental sections. So, long story short, no, the April LSAT is not harder. It's just as fair and consistent as every other test. Now, if you are taking the LSAT in April, here's how to study effectively. First, you want to align your study plan with your schedule. If April is a busy time for you, plan ahead. You want to break your prep into smaller, manageable chunks. Even just an hour or two of focused studying each day could be enough if you use your time wisely. Second, focus on quality over quantity. Don't try to cram in hours of practice just to feel like you're doing something. Instead, you want to prioritize targeted practice and thorough review. For example, if logical reasoning is your weakest section, spend time breaking down why you're getting certain questions wrong and how to fix those errors. Third, you want to simulate test day conditions. As the April LSAT approaches, take full-length timed practice tests under realistic conditions. This is going to help you build stamina and adjust to the timing demands of the real test. Now, here's something counterintuitive that might change the way you think about your LSAT prep. Sometimes, doing less can actually lead to better results. Most students try to power through as many practice tests and questions as possible, thinking more is somehow better. But the thing is, burnout is real and it can kill your progress. So instead, focus on doing fewer, higher quality practice sessions. One of my students, Emily, was stuck at 158, practicing for hours every day without seeing any improvement. We cut her study time in half, but made each session laser focused. Within 6 weeks, she hit 167. Doing less but doing it right actually works, but don't overcomplicate your prep, simplify it instead. Now, if the April LSAT doesn't go as planned, don't panic. You can always retake. You could take it in June and still apply at the beginning of the cycle in the fall, and taking those extra 2 months to retest might be your best move. Finally, remember, of course, the April LSAT isn't harder. It just feels that way because of timing and perception. But with the right prep and the right mindset, you can succeed no matter when you take the test. Now, to jumpstart your prep, or if you want a quick refresher, either way, grab my free Easy LSAT cheat sheet linked below this video. It's packed full of tips to save you time, boost your accuracy, and feel confident on test day. You can grab the link below. Again, it's 100% free. And if you're looking for more personalized support, you could check out the links below to book a call with me, my team. We'd be glad to help you out and develop a customized study plan to help you hit your target score, ideally 170 plus, because of course, there is no reason to shoot for anything less. In the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.